We are spending 1 week at the coolest BMW shop in the United States. We're going to be fixing cars, driving cars, and visiting a Ferrari dealer. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are in Colorado visiting the TC European shop. We have the owners, Tyler and Carson. Still a camera.
I like Camaros.
Camaros are dope. Yeah, this is, I'm filming on a camera, not a Camaro. TC European also has a website that sells a bunch of cool BMW parts, a lot of niche stuff, like you wouldn't find elsewhere. So like, if you need something really specific, there's a chance that they might have it, or it's an idea for a future part that they're gonna make. We're spending a week in BMW Paradise. I met Tyler and Carson a couple years ago through a mutual friend. We did a couple videos a while back. You used to have a yellow, Dakar yellow E36 M3 4-door.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. And you had the Ready 30.
Ready 30 325 iX.
iX. Is that the same one?
No, I ended up selling it, but I did a lot of stuff to that thing.
Yeah, so we are going to tour the shop in all its glory and all these cars and everything. So, all right, I'm gonna hand it off to Tyler and Carson. Tell us a little bit, like, how did you get into the BMW game? Why are you guys different from all the other guys?
So I think the story starts back in probably high school. It was my first car that I bought. It was a blue 320 E21. It was a full Fred Flintstone car. It had like the hole in like the footwell that you could like literally run on the ground. I bought it for $1,000. It was like the fun car to my Subaru that I had dailied. That was the first BMW I ever owned. That didn't last long. It ended up getting chopped into like 1 million pieces. And that was kind of when I first figured out that you could like take a $1,000 car, take it apart, and sell all the parts for money.
Yes.
So that was like a really big piece of the puzzle. And using that money, I then bought my first E30, which was a 325X, just like this.
Which you can tell a lot about what this is by looking at. Oh, it's a 4-door. I just noticed that.
Yeah, it is a 4-door. Yep. Mine was a 2-door. It was Zino. It was beautiful, and unfortunately died a horrible death.
As most iXs do.
Yep, they all end up in the bin.
They do.
But that car really, I think, cemented my love for classic BMWs because I was originally a big fan of the E90s, and that was like what I was all about. But I ended up just finding this E30 and gave it a shot and just completely fell in love. So a couple years later, I was in college. And I bought the same car, basically, from a friend called Skudak. Skudak sold me the same car because he was like, dude, it's so cool. You'd be able to have the same car that you like lost in that accident. So I bought it sight unseen off the internet and drove it all the way back home. That car eventually got sold to Carson.
Yeah.
And Carson did a bunch of work to it. And that kind of starts his involvement with BMWs.
Yeah, so Tyler dailied this car in college, and it had holes through the floor, just like the original one.
So they were both Flintstone cars.
They're both Flintstone cars.
Okay, yes.
And he got really, really tired of all the electrical issues that would happen when he was driving through all the salt water in Michigan in the wintertime.
Yes.
And the engine was getting tired, starting to burn a lot of oil. So we worked at the same company, and he decided, hey, I'm done with this thing. Like, I need a reliable car. I got to get rid of this. I was like, well, I'm looking for something fun to work on. So I bought that iX from him. I knew how to weld in floors, so I welded in some floors, and I knew how to repair engines. I ended up blowing the head gasket on it a couple months after I bought it from him.
Yep.
And that's what started like our crazy intro to building Strucker engines and having a good time just like messing around with stuff.
Yeah, so the first shop we ever had was a frat house garage that I found on Craigslist for $300
with one picture on Craigslist.
One picture, nothing else. We kind of had just met, so like we had this idea. We're like, yo, we can like work on cars in this driveway, this shop. Like, I'm gonna go check it out. And he was like, great. I show up. I immediately pull the trigger. It's like, hey, you know that garage that I said something about we should get? I did it, and we have it now.
I signed the lease. He texted me an hour before, said, I'm gonna go see this garage.
Yeah.
And 45 minutes later was like, I signed the lease.
Yeah.
You in or you out?
Yeah, and he was signing out, and he was in. So that was like the very first iteration of TC Euro. And I think like the big thing that we really wanted to do is we wanted to build cars and we didn't want to spend our own money.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we kind of found ways to make money doing something that we really like doing, and
That's the goal.
where we've arrived today.
Yes, you have all of these cars, some better than others.
Not all ours. Not customer cars.
Yeah, these are all customer cars. Yes, other than this one,
Other
which
than
is
this one.
we'll talk about. Yeah, we'll talk about this thing in a second. It's a very
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was mine.
Now that you know who Tyler and Carson are, they're going to walk us around their shop, which we will be spending the week at doing awesome car stuff. Yes, so let's walk around to the front. So we have some awesome posters on the wall. We had more, but you said they fell off.
Yeah, so like these posters, I've been collecting these forever. Like I have like multiple searches saved on eBay. I'm always picking up kind of unique stuff. This was like a gift to me. This is a E30 M3.
Yeah.
And it's just like engraved. Some of these pictures are from Gran Turismo.
Yeah, it's
of cars that I've built in Gran Turismo and made prints of. This is like a watercolor painting of like E36 M3s and stuff. Some of these are like pamphlets that are from the period of
Yeah,
like stuff you could get from the
Z1,
dealer.
M5, and then
Yeah.
over here we have some really awesome ones.
Some of these were hanging and they fell.
And they fell.
Because
Yeah.
it didn't anchor them correctly.
You know what? That's how it goes. So a very nice office space area.
Yeah.
I have to say, as a prospective customer, like if I'm walking into here, you know, like it's a nice place to be. Oh, we have a red door. I didn't even notice that.
The red door.
Red door. It matches. We got the whole tricolor thing going on. Of course, some Christmas themed decorations.
Yeah,
A little bit of Christmas going up.
These are hubcap from BMW.
Oh my God, they are, dude. I didn't even notice that.
Those are wheel centers. Yeah.
For E30, like BBS style.
We actually don't know. They were a missent part from a supplier.
That is so funny.
And we were like, oh, dude, these look like snowflakes.
Well, now you have dude, the most automotive snowflakes ever.
So that's kind of like the decor. This office wasn't here when we got into the shop. It was put up by a friend of ours. And then we painted it all ourselves. So it's definitely a bit of a homebrew thing. This is like, this wall we wanted to kind of be our lore wall. This was the
Yes.
first check that we ever received from ECS Tuning as a supplier.
Oh, that's dope.
That is framed, and this is a pretty version of my Dakar M345 that
Like
Sony has driven.
Yes.
Really enjoyed.
Yeah, we drove it a couple years ago now.
Yep.
And it was pretty nice. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Sold the car and bring a trailer since then, and I think the owner of that still has it. Right?
Yeah, there you go. It was like
Yeah.
low mileage engine swap, manual swap.
Yeah, like
It was a nice car.
Whole 9 yards, and that was
full respray.
yep. That was all done at our very first shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our 350 square foot garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a place. They also did a clutch shop on my M3 once because, and this is a whole other story, but a bunch of shops basically previously screwed it up. Clutch disc exploded inside the bell housing.
Yep.
And then yeah, they fixed it.
Insert B-roll picture of it. Because we
Yeah,
have
that I will never stop talking about that clutch because that was the most insane thing. One of the most insane things that's ever happened to a clutch disc ever.
Yeah.
And that was shop 2.0, and that was a 14-hour day for me working on that thing. And you made it to the show.
Yeah, I did make it to the show.
And you won best daily driver.
I won best daily driver of the
Yeah.
show. That was
Crazy award.
Yeah, crazy award. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and walk around the rest of the shop here.
Yep.
And we will circle around to some cars outside. But anyway, let's go this way.
So yeah, we have this office. This was built mostly because customers kept wandering into the shop while we were
Like we need an office.
we need to contain them. But it's actually really nice to have like that space separated from here.
Yeah.
But along this wall is basically a bunch of parts bins, and these are all labeled with tags that you can see if you get closer, like Mech 5, Mech
Yes.
6, Mech 7. We have a inventory system that Carson has built that basically keeps track of every single part that we have on inventory and where it is, so that when it's ordered, we can basically just go and pick that part and bring it over here to the shipping station. And this shipping station, we pull the boxes off the shelf and then send all the orders out the door. This is also usually where most of like the small new parts get made.
Yeah.
On the fly, made
Right.
to order, and then we pack them up and then ship them out.
That's where all the magic happens.
Yep, that's the parts business.
Exactly.
It's basically right here along this wall. All
Yeah.
the way in the back corner, we have like the 3D printer farm. We'll get to that later. But
Yes.
Carson, if you want to show them like some of the stuff with service.
So pretty much the rest of the footprint of the shop is service-based. So for better or for worse, in this shop, we only have one lane for service. That's the garage door to the lift. So the lift is the main piece that we really utilize a lot. Get things in the air, get suspension done, get oil pans done, get all of that sort of stuff.
All the, yeah.
The longer projects we've started to move to the side of the shop. So for instance, this right here, we've seen it a little bit already, is a 325iX that got hit in the front. So this is a longer term project. It's getting a brand new core support, getting some new parts that we ended up having to buy a parts car for because BMW doesn't make the parts for anymore.
Right.
So this is a good place to keep things out of the way. It stays here for a while. I can get work done, weld it, do all that stuff. Further over here, we've got sort of our, what we qualify as like our dirty work. We want
Yes.
to keep our dirty work away from our clean cars, which tend to be over on the lift.
Yes.
This is a really solid workbench. we
Grimy
use for
axles.
Grimy axles, axle rebuild, stuff we're hammering on, stuff we're drilling, stuff we're welding on. Our arbor press, not an arbor press, our hydraulic press is here.
And I quote, shit sender.
Shit sender. And that's an original name from Shop 1.0.
No,
the
that's
shit
a carryover.
Shit sender.
If something flies off of this, we don't want it to hit a car. That's why it's in the dirty area.
Yeah,
This is
right.
our parts washer. As you can see,
These
we
are
talk
awesome.
about a dirty side of the shop.
Yeah.
You want to get a shot of that scum.
Oh, look at that.
That's all oil,
That is
grease.
so yummy. I want to drink that so badly.
So good. It smells great too. Every used part that comes through that's really dirty, we run them through here so that when we ship them out, people get nice clean parts. And I actually just used it today on a power steering job to make sure that the customer has a nice clean part, looks good. It's a new part that's going in there. His brackets are all clean.
Yeah. And right next to here, this is a pretty cool thing. This is our TIG welder. This
Yes.
is like a
1980s.
1980s Miller welder. It's huge,
1980s.
but it works. It works just as well as a new one. And we kind of use that for like fine welding jobs. And we also have a MIG and stick machine that we use more mobile and ends up like making a lot of stuff over there in the lift.
Right.
So the other thing we like to keep, like we said, dirty area. This is kind of moving towards the clean area with the paint booth behind us.
That's stepping over everything actively.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a jungle here. I'm like exploring
Yeah.
uncharted territory.
You can only fit so much in a 2,500 square foot shop.
Yeah, you think it's a limited space, but I guess it wouldn't be.
This is where I keep things that are a little bit less hardcore, a little bit more finicky. This guy wants a carburetor tune. He wants a brake master cylinder swap. So we changed out this for a more narrow diameter brake booster with a brand new master cylinder. And then we've got he has DCOE side draft carburetors that he wants to fit air filtration on. So all of that is something I can do just leaning over and into the car. So
Right, so it's right here.
you can see behind Tyler is our paint booth.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the paint booth is not active yet because we've learned from our neighbor our shop is too dirty to spray paint in here.
That is actually true.
I think this is like a really valuable thing. We kind of originally thought that we might get a lot of good use out of a paint booth in our shop, but it just turned out that we could basically be better at focusing on the things that we're really good at and repurposing this more or less for a storage area.
This is where all the action happens. This is the lift. This is
The lift.
all of
Yes.
the jobs that are immediately, they're happening right now. They need suspension off. They need stuff taken apart. This is where I do 90% of my work right here. This is a great asset for us. This is something that was brand new when we moved into this space, and it's really helped us to get things done faster, more efficiently, and to a higher level of quality, which is really what we're aiming for. We would like to take our time and deliver a quality product so that I treat all the cars that come in like they're mine. They're my baby. I want them right. I want them clean. I want them looking good.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that passion is really important, and like it's a thing that we've always been car people, and like when you do work on a car, when you complete that work and you give it back, you're signing your name on that. Like,
Yes.
And I think that's so important to like
Yeah,
take
exactly.
that ownership of the car and like be like, I built that car, I'm proud of it, here it is back. And that's a big thing that we really care about.
Yeah, and I'll say I've had a lot of experiences, a lot of shops, and the difference in quality you get with a shop like these guys building your car is just huge. I've had a lot of shops kind of haphazardly throw my car back together, and I feel like for the most part, every time I send my car to a shop, I always expect when I get it back, I'm gonna have to fix something. Like, and it's not gonna be something huge, but it'll be something small. I'll have to tidy up. When you pay somebody like these guys to work in your car, you get that next level of experience. They take the time to actually fix it. So
And the service businesses probably makes us the most money. That's of our two, parts and service. Our parts business is a lot more scalable, so we're hoping that kind of grows over time, and our service business is like that cash cow where it's generating money day in and day out.
And then you can have your little minions to do all the work for you guys.
All the minions. Us. Yeah.
For now.
These are the employees.
Yeah. Yep. This table tends to be like an accumulation area for the active projects. You're seeing the shop in like full. We just finished a day of work, and this
Yeah.
is what it looks like.
No,
this is full realism.
This is canon.
Yeah, this is full realism. We didn't pretty everything up. This is exactly how it is day in and day out.
As we'll talk about later, a lot of this is from my car, which we tried to really get done really fast before Sunny came. It didn't work out, but we'll explain that later.
Yeah. This is like where a lot of the parts get made.
I haven't been back here
yet.
yet.
A combination of resin printers that have like a really nice surface finish and like solid construction, and those are good for some parts. And then we also have missing. They're over there, all broken because we had a power surge and took everything out.
Oh no.
And then this is usually where the filament-based printers are
Yeah.
living. So once we have all of our new printers purchased and they arrive, this will all be set back up and producing parts. So like the parts get produced here, and then they move to the inventory on the shelves, and then they go out the door, and it's all in a line.
Right. That's actually really cool how you guys have this set up. Yeah. It's all in
Back
the
to
line.
front. That was the original
That
idea.
was a conscious effort on our part.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are like Henry Ford. You're like pioneering.
We are exactly like Henry Ford.
You're exactly like Henry Ford.
So this is Carson's house over here.
So this is our repurposed mixing booth. As you can see, we still have the paint mixing rack, which the
Yes.
previous owner was nice enough to keep here for us. But we decided we're not doing paint, we're not doing body work. Let's dedicate this to a clean room for engine building. So we'll go over this car a little bit later, but this is an M10 stock rebuild from a guy that was a BMW technician back in the 70s and worked at a BMW dealership. So did his wife, and they found this car a couple years ago, and they wanted to just do a stock engine rebuild. It's an old restoration. The nice thing about this space is it's built for negative pressure because you want to suck all the paint fumes out while you're
Right.
mixing. It's great. I can run negative pressure in here. It would suck all the dust into these filters up in the roof here.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to keep everything super clean. It's going to stay out of the dust, stay out of the grime that's in the normal shop. I can just spend my time back here, take my time, measure, put things together, and make sure engines run really
Your
good.
engines are going to be beautiful.
Primo.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
I
run
think
perfect.
It's like a great example of like we thought originally we'd use it as paint, and we ended up finding another even better purpose for it that's going to work great for us. Because our neighbors do paint. So like when we have people that have paint, we can kind of work with our neighbor to do it, and he has like 30 years of paint experience. So it's just great to offload that stuff to him.
God,
Look
that's
at
so-
paint booth. This is, like we said before, kind of now a glorified storage area. The lighting in here is amazing.
including cars.
Yep, including cars and a couple other special spicy things.
Mm.
This is that 1600, so that engine that's in there, that's going in here.
Okay.
And then this is a long-term project that we have that is getting a stroked engine that is now at the machine shop right now.
Yeah, it's getting
Yes.
bored out right now. He wants to go to 3.1 liters, very spicy, full suspension rebuild. This is a really long-term project for us.
This thing is beautiful. It was restored, but it was restored just so well. And it's beautiful. It's got those amazing sheepskin covers on the inside.
Yes, I noticed that. Very, very 70s.
Yeah, full 70s spec. Really, really beautiful car. We're super excited to rebuild this guy's car and get it back to him because it's an important thing for him. Like this was like him and his wife's passion project.
Yeah.
And now I think his wife has passed, and now he really wants to like finish this, and it has a lot of sentimental value. And that's true of a lot of these cars, and I think that's why we love working on them so much. And then over here, Carson can explain what this is.
Yes.
This is for a future project. One of our old acquaintances back in Michigan runs another BMW shop, which we've worked with him before, getting our projects done, helping him get his projects done. He had this M88 engine sitting in his back lot, and he'd had it for a while, and he was like, hey, I want to get rid of this thing. The deal was really good, so I decided to buy it, and I've got big plans for this. We're thinking E9 Group 5 twin turbo race car build. Hopefully in the next 3 years is the timeline. But this thing is like, I'm a big engine guy. I like doing all the other stuff, but like you start talking to me about engines, swirl, combustion dynamics. That's what I like. This thing is like candy to me. Like I just want to get in there and tear it
Well, real quick, I should clarify. They're both engineers. It wasn't already super obvious.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. They're
We both went to Michigan together.
Yes.
And then we met at a fuel systems company.
Yeah, aftermarket high performance fuel systems company.
Yeah, and we were the two applications engineers that worked on building a lot of products for them, and that was kind of our background per se. But yeah, we have mechanical engineering degrees, and then decided to go do this instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing is like my little sack right there.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So this one's mine. This thing's been getting frosted every single day for the last 2 weeks. I bought this just over a year ago now, out of Pennsylvania. It was an automatic, owned by a high schooler. It's been resprayed 3 times, but the deal was really good. So I got it, manual swapped it, put a nice limited slip differential in the back because the old diff was blown out. And we just recently decided, it recently blew a head gasket. So this past weekend we decided, hey, let's get that head gasket done, and then Sonny can drive this all week. Unfortunately,
That'd been awesome.
we broke a timing guide on the way putting the head back on. So now the engine's gonna come out. It's in a little bit of a state of disrepair.
Yeah, that's the same thing that I did on mine. Well, actually, I wasn't while putting the head back on, but it was while doing the timing service. I was trying to remove one of the chain guides, and then one of them just shattered into a million pieces, dropping the oil pan, and then we had to remove the oil pan, which, yeah, was pretty awful.
Now that the engine has to come out, I have too many ideas.
Yeah, so this car is ending its life now.
It's gonna be the end of its life. It's okay. It lived a good life. It's almost 200,000 miles, owned by a high schooler.
With 3 repaints that have all failed.
So
Yep. This car will end up being in all of those bins over on the shelf.
Yeah.
So if you have any E36 M3 parts that you want to buy,
Boom.
Hit
We
us
got
up.
him.
There you go. You got your parts junkie right there.
Yep.
Oh my god, it has a coolant hose on the ground. What is that? Oh my goodness. We could have added another hour onto this video if we had continued to talk about cars, like this awesome E30, this awesome E28, and this M5 converted E39 Touring. We will be driving 2 of those cars later this video.
Wow, that was like the fastest I think I've ever put that back on.
I was really hoping you were going to struggle with that more so I could dig it the video.
That is real. That is exactly how I've experienced it every time. Just kidding.
Look at that. That's ITBs on an S52.
S52, baby.
Yeah.
Fixing all of the lame issues with the Euro engines, or the USA engines.
Wait, that's the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's a turbo, but we'll forgive you. It's close enough.
Wait, you have a turbo. It's right there. Look at that. It's next to the oil filter.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's a turbo. Nice turbo. We are on our way to the TC European shop right now, but first I want to show you what our rental car is for the week. Rental car. This is Tyler's personal car. It is a 2023 Mazda 3. And now, before you click off and you're like, oh, what a lame car, I gotta show you what makes this car really cool. And I totally... Bruh. Okay, remember how car locks work. It has a 6-speed manual transmission. Look at that. And a base model 2023 car, which is pretty awesome. I think Tyler said this cost about like 28 grand. It's got this really nice leather interior, red, which is an awesome color with white. And then the gauge faces are this really cool clock. Oh, it's so cool. Look at that. There will be a full review on this car coming out in the coming weeks, but I just wanted to show you all what we rock for the week. I'm really a fan of this car.
Dude. He's been doing this for miles.
We have arrived back at the TC Euro shop and we have something very exciting. We're going to be driving this E28 535i. It has air ride, suspension, big wheels, and it's been kind of restored, I think. I've never driven an E28. I've always wanted to drive a 535i, especially an E34, but E28's also been on that list, so I'm super excited. Of course, it is a manual transmission. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. So I'm gonna throw the GoPro on my head and then let's hop on the road. starts like an old car, which is so funny. I mean, it is an old car. This engine, I think it came from like the 1960s.
Yeah, the M30, I think the first time they put it in a car was, yes, 68.
Yeah, so it's an old engine. Were they always fuel injected, or were the first ones carbureted?
No, first ones are carbureted. They were
Okay,
carbureted
that's
for a
what I thought.
long time, like 15 years of carbureted, and then they slowly transitioned to fuel injection. And this is pretty early on in fuel injection.
This is when I for injected actually meant something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like that was a big deal. We did a whole POV drive with this E28. You should subscribe so you don't miss that video when it goes out. God, what a sweet car. After the E28 drive, we started moving cars so we could get the E46 wagon on the road post power steering pump replacement. Does it steer?
Oh my gosh, it does steer.
It does steer.
Fixed it.
Just did a power steering pump replacement on this, and there was like a slight moment where we were both nervous. Like, did it just not work?
Or like, did it blow out the steering rack on accident too?
Yeah.
So like a crazy pressure fluctuation that popped the rack. Nope.
Nope.
Just needed to get some air out of there.
Yup. And now she's steering. Oh my goodness. The tightest turning radius you've ever seen on a wagon.
Dude, seriously.
Look at that. She works. Manual controls on an E46. This is a first for me.
Life changing.
It is life changing. I didn't know this was a thing.
Makes you want burger back, doesn't it?
No, no, not at all. That one actually had the electronic one. That was the Burger, our $600 BMW, was a large engine 328i, and it was a sport pack with a lot of options. It was a very nice car like 25 years ago. Unfortunately, by the time we got it, it was nice isn't exactly the word I would use to describe it. That was a bucket. That was a nugget. We're wrapping up at the TC Euro shop for the day. We're getting the E46 ready for its customer. Tomorrow we have a drive planned with Avance Denver and Ferrari of Denver that we're going to be going on. I think should be something official. We're going to have like a police escort, I've been told, and some other stuff, but we're doing a toy drive. Well, TC Euro is partnered with Avance Denver to do a toy drive. They took donations. What I forgot to mention in my ranting is that we get to spend a bunch of money from donors and awesome toys for kids, which we will then donate tomorrow at the toy drive. It's a 300 SL with a trailer that, wait, is that like a real Mercedes trailer?
I think so. I think that's an Era.
Dude, they made that? What? It's actually so dope. Fast and Furious FJ Cruiser. That is just a black FJ Cruiser. Dude, is that a Minecraft bee?
Minecraft bee.
Dude, wait, I want to see that. Incredible.
It's so good.
Incredible.
Yeah, but we're gonna cover it back up.
We got a full cart of stuff.
That we do.
Yes, we do.
Did I?
You done yet, Carson? You done yet? You done yet?
Dude, look, a quarter.
Whoa, you found a quarter? Where? I see a pile of bolts.
Yeah.
Carson, give us your thoughts at this exact moment.
It's kind of cold in here. Mom, bitch.
I forgot to tell all of you what we are doing here. Tyler's M3 has no rear seats because race car. So we need to steal the seats out of Carson's Nugget for him to join us at the Ferrari event.
Dude, you can't just take my cylinder head. What the heck?
I'll put it back.
How am I gonna get home?
Got our presents loaded up. That's a full trunk right there.
the same to me.
The new ones get harder for me. Dude, look at this thing. Wow. We looked around at some cool cars, Ferraris, and Ferrari merchandise. Then we started to kill the time by reviewing cars. And even the Ferrari branded water. Alright, we're about to find out if this is Dasani water or not.
It's not Sunny water. Branding really helps. It gives you like this mindset of like luxury when you drink it.
I feel really rich.
Yeah, extra
If the
hydrated.
label wasn't there, I think it'd be like a 5 out of 10. But with the Ferrari, I think the feel of the Ferrari,
It brings it up.
Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. You guys can tell we're at the Ferrari of Denver, and they have a Porsche 911 Dakar here, which is one of my favorite cars, probably ever to exist. It's awesome. Pick a favorite.
It's this. It's gotta be this.
Okay, so we are in unison.
Yeah, it's this.
Oh my god, look at it, it's so tiny.
Koala.
Oh my god, it's so cute. We found where the Ferrari water goes.
Yeah, Ferrari water, or it can also take Porsche water,
Yeah.
but it has to be branded water, otherwise it won't work.
Yeah, wait, so it has to be of Porsche quality or better, and Ferrari would be more expensive,
Right.
so it would be acceptable.
Well, we could make an argument that the Ferrari water might not be as high quality
Yeah, true, we don't know.
as the Porsche water,
But it's got more passion
but it's more
than the
passion.
Porsche one.
More passion.
Yeah, and you know, they do have a sort of radar for that built into the system.
Absolutely.
Speaking of passion, there's a Volkswagen bus right there,
Which is so sick.
which is so sick.
One
Dude,
of
who
the
brought
coolest
that
cars
here?
here.
Dude, literally,
And
who brought
the
that?
Chevy Nomad wagon on bags in front of it.
Dude, that is literally insane. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay, so we're here out in Ferrari of Denver. We have our, I'm gonna hand it off to Tyler and Carson to review the new Toyota Land Cruiser.
Yeah, we're TCR, we're BMW specialists. We're invited to this exclusive Ferrari dealership event, and we're here reviewing the Ferrari Tacoma 1958 Ferrari Tacoma.
You can see the window sticker says 1958.
Wait, where does it say 958?
Right there, it says Toyota Land Cruiser Ferrari of Denver 1958.
Oh yeah, yep, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, I think actually for the age of the car, it's like actually quite impressive how good a shape it's in.
Very modern styling for 1958.
Yeah.
Really holds up well.
I really love the box flares. It kind of revolves. I think it takes a lot of inspiration from the E30 M3.
Yeah.
It's a little taller than the E30 M3. I don't think this would probably fare as well at the track as an E30 M3.
They might do a little better off-road though.
I do hear it also has a 4-cylinder powertrain.
Yep.
The Tacoma people really love it. They wanted more fuel economy.
Yep.
And so Toyota gave them more fuel economy, and they instead don't want to buy it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh no, it's a red light, it's a red light, it's a red light. Oh my god, he's running the red light, he's running the red light, oh my god. Oh, it's a 535 IS. Dude.
Huh?
The drive was mostly uneventful. Outside of that, we delivered presents to the Children's Hospital and then visited a race shop later that day. Their name is 3R Racing if you want to check them out.
I would do an NS.
It's Sunday now, and today is the day we're going to take out Tyler's E36 M3 with, well, among other things, individual throttle bodies. Right now, he's making some adjustments on the throttle cable. There will be a whole video explaining how these work and the whole rest of the car, but yeah, we're back. Nice. But we're gonna get this wrapped up, and then we're gonna go for a drive. You'll see more on this car and that video, but I think for the sake of this vlog, I'm just gonna like insert epic montage of the car and some awesome sounds that the exhaust and the ITBs make. Off center hold, okay.
So it goes up here. You see these two tabs right here?
Yes, this is two
So it
tabs.
fits in these two tabs.
Uh-huh.
And then if this is loose, as you rotate this tool, it's gonna push it either way.
Oh, it's just shifting the whole trailing
Shifting
arm.
the whole trailing.
Wait, so do you loosen the trailing arm a little bit, then you use
You have
that to sort
loosen
of...
all three of these bolts, and then
You use
use
that
and that'll like really.
So that helps shift it finely, so you can actually get fine degree adjustments. Okay, that makes sense.
Really wanted to get kind of a combination of that like super reliable S52 engine with a little bit more of that spice that like came on the S54 and on the European S50. This is what I just came up with. This is a S54 intake system basically retrofitted to an S52. I designed an adapter plate made out of glass-filled nylon that essentially allows you to bolt the S54 intake system to this engine. The other really big design project of this was creating a linkage that creates like a decent pedal feel because the way that ITBs react to input throttle is a lot different than you would if you had a single throttle like you do on the stock engine.
There's a lot more to this car and the intake system we talked about, but that's for another video. You should subscribe so you don't miss that. But now we're going to do what you've all been waiting for. Nice. All right, I'm gonna try to, tell me if you have enough room or not. Okay. Well, something happened.
I think our throttle blades got stuck.
Rut-row, Raggy. It feels a lot more like the Euro one. It sort of it winds out, and it just feels like it keeps power. Very linear, unlike the stock intake manifold, where it sort of has like a peak in the mid-range, and then it sort of dies off. It's just like, you have the same power at 2000 as you have 4 and 6. It's awesome. So I put a GoPro on the back of Tyler's M3 to get some awesome exhaust sounds, and it was on there for like the entire shoot. Then we were on the way home, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw it back on there, and it fell off. So and we didn't realize until we got all the way back. So now we're going back to the shooting location to see if we can find this exhaust GoPro. I hope we can, because there's a lot of exhaust audio on there. Actually, if there's exhaust audio in this video, then we found the GoPro. If there's not, then there's gonna be this awesome exhaust audio, and we now don't have it because we lost the GoPro. Yeah, so wish us luck, I guess. We lost the GoPro yesterday, and unfortunately, we didn't find it. So I lost my GoPro Hero 11, an SD card, and a GoPro suction mount, which kind of sucks. So, and the worst part is we lost the exhaust audio for Tyler's E36 M3. So I went ahead and bought another GoPro. This time I got a Hero 12 because it's about the same money I spent on the 11. when I first bought it. It's kind of late in the day already. This morning I've kind of just spent rotting and doing nothing while I was working from home, and honestly it was pretty amazing. We had a pretty loaded weekend. But today we are driving the E39 Touring that's been M5 converted. So this will be a lot of fun. I don't know how stock it is. I know it has some kind of short shifter and exhaust, but moving around the parking lot, it feels pretty good. And I mean, oh, look at the Emerald red. This thing is beautiful. Very nice. I'm super excited to do this. But first, it needs some gas, so we're gonna go take this thing to the gas station, and then we're gonna shoot a hot take with it. Thing sounds gnarly. And get a load of the shifter too. It's really short and direct. Oh, nice. Kinda like it. And now it's beeping at me. Okay, we weren't sure if the fuel gauge worked, but nope, it does. That thing was literally running on fumes. But she's good now. We're good. I hate to interrupt this symphony from this S62, but what you're about to see is the reason why I strongly dislike BC coilovers in most applications. This otherwise supple and composed car not only rides awfully, but experiences bump steer, which is not a characteristic of the E39 natively. I could rant about this longer, but that's a topic for another video. We drove that E39 M5 Touring yesterday, and it was super awesome. And we are about to drive, a beautiful 540 M Sport converted car, which I am super excited for. So yeah, yesterday was a short day. I went to a Fiat dealer because they're running a crazy lease deal in Colorado right now. But they were sold out, so Carson may get one after I'm gone, but whatever. Anyway, we're gonna go hop in the C34, and I'm super excited for today. It's Tuesday, so it's our last full day here. I'm just kind of wrapping up all the footage that we're gonna film.
Stuff to make it like drive better, but yeah.
Feel free to really throw it around these corners. It'll just keep going.
So much mechanical grip. Those 275s are.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't necessarily need the stiffest suspension when you have just all the tires in the world.
You just throw more tire at it, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly the body roll is really not bad.
No, not at all. Just hopped out of the E34, and it was such an awesome experience. It actually has some mods on it, which I didn't know initially, and I wasn't super sure what to expect, but it was a great driving experience. That'll be a hot take. You guys will see that later. The owner, Peter, is awesome. And yeah, this is a truly special car. So now I think we're gonna finish up some filming with Tyler's E36 M3 later today, and then we're gonna shoot a BMW tier list, which you guys will also see on the channel, of all the classic BMWs. That should be an interesting video. So we'll just see where Tuesday takes us. This is my last day here in Denver, last full day before I fly home on Wednesday tomorrow. Plans changed slightly. We washed Tyler's Mazda as a thank you for letting me borrow it for the week and took it out for a hot take. Afterwards, we shot the BMW tier list. We spent half an hour of our 2-hour filming session arguing over whether or not the E46 M3 deserved A tier or B tier.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of crazy that like you're like, oh yeah, you have to like know how to do all of the maintenance and like spend the $10,000 to fix the fatal flaws of the design of the car. That's crazy.
Well, the subframe. Primo meal right there. Never had In-N-Out before. We're doing a burger review. I feel like the guy from McDonald's. The McDonald's movie, trying McDonald's for the first time, I'm like blown away by this place. It is like actually wow.
It's a lot cheaper than I thought. What do you think of the fries?
Really good.
Salty.
Yeah.
I like the salt. It's also like pretty crispy.
Yeah.
Not as crispy as McDonald's fries.
I'm gonna hand my phone to somebody else while I take a bite of the burger.
Okay.
Alright.
Got you.
Yep.
Double.
We don't have these in Michigan.
2 patties, 2 cheese.
Yes, literally.
We got the first bite. He's thinking.
Good?
He's surprised.
Dude,
All right.
that's good. This blew away my expectations. I am thoroughly surprised in a good
I
way.
mean, look at that, guys. Look at the sauce. It's got 2 patties on it for $10.
No, the burger
Pretty
is like
crazy.
$7.75.
Wow.
Right. No,
Absolutely
My
incredible.
whole meal.
$5.55.
My whole meal was $12.
Yeah, my whole meal was $8.37 without a drink.
$8.37 for
That
this
is
burger.
extremely cheap.
This might be the last value burger in America.
It literally is, dude. Now we are like, there's something here. There's something here, guys. If you made it this far, you've probably subscribed already, but if you haven't, you should. You don't want to miss the full videos with this car. Alright, my flight's at 3 p.m. today. We just did one last canyon run the M3, but that is the end of our trip. I have to extend a huge thank you to Tyler and Carson for having me out here at TC European. If you have an awesome BMW in or near the Denver, Colorado area you need worked on, these are the guys to do it. And this video should have been enough convincing that you can trust these guys with your awesome car. The website will be in the description down below. But yeah, awesome weekend, drove some cool cars, did some cool car stuff. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video, subscribe, do the thing. All right, bye.
Feels like I've been